Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Mary Gillam. I am so excited to have an opportunity to talk with you tonight. I just finished an interview earlier today down at the studio. And this time I was on the opposite end of the couch. I was actually being interviewed based off of my latest book that I did, and that was called The Invisible Covering, Trading My Grief for God's Supernatural Grace. The journalist wanted me to talk about what inspired me to write the book and how do I think that it will help in terms of what's going on today. Because I can tell you, so many people have lost loved ones and friends and so forth due to COVID-19. And so even while I was writing that particular book, I ended up losing my youngest sister, unfortunately, to COVID-19. But the book was actually in tribute to my mom and my sister, who had died a few years earlier, only 8 months apart. And then as I was writing that book, as I said, my youngest sister passed. But there were so many things that led up to my knowing in advance that my sister was going to pass based off of a dream that the Lord had given me. But needless to say, how did I know it was going to lead me to know that my particular sister, my sister who was just 1 year older, would die a few days later. But anyway, that was the interview that I got a chance to do for a television station here locally. But I can tell you, even as we progressed through that interview, the interviewer asked a question that I really would like to expound on in this particular setting, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it a lot there, because it has to do with some business things. And I'm going to tell you right now, what we have experienced since the beginning of the year, unfortunately, has caused a lot of businesses to fold. And it's really, really sad, because it's like, what do you do? And that was one of the questions that she asked. What kind of advice would you give a person today, especially an entrepreneur, or others maybe in small business and so forth? What is going on? What would you advise them? And this is one thing that I would tell anybody, regardless of what you're doing. Uh, I, I'm going to be honest with you, and you guys who have been watching my channel, you know that, first of all, I'm a Christian. It's not something that I tell people, and I'm not really living that life. No, I am really a Christian, and I believe in asking God for advice, reading His Word, and following His guidance. Because I can tell you, if not, you can sometimes make decisions, and you can end up, unfortunately, regretting those decisions. And so I often tell people, first of all, pray about it. Ask God, is this the decision? Is this the path that you want me to take? Is this what you want me to do right now? Because you may make a decision that, down the road, things, because I knew some people who started businesses back in January, and if they had have known what was coming down the road a couple of months later, I don't think they would have started those businesses. Because I believe that, God can give us wisdom, just like He gave Solomon, King Solomon, He gave him wisdom to make the right decisions, to do the right thing at the right time. Because sometimes it may mean that we have to delay the things that we are planning, but we have to make sure that whatever it is that, God is leading us to do that. Because I do believe, when I was over at Georgetown in the McDonald's School of Business, one of the things that we did learn, and you have to have that contingency plan. You have to have that exit strategy. But nobody would have anticipated the things that we're facing today. At the beginning of January to where we are. No, I don't think anybody would have anticipated that the government or the business would be shut down and all of that. And so it's very, very unfortunate. But I do believe, and I'm going to tell you, as a Christian, that we just have to pray and ask God to give us the wisdom to make the right decisions, because we are in this together. If we're going to survive as a nation, we have got to work together to make sure that we can bring businesses back. We can do what is good and right for this nation, because we will not be able to survive if we don't. If businesses just continue to fold, it's like, where are you going to get the money from to sustain, what is going on? And it's like we have got to work together, be able to make the right decisions, support one another, and understand that we're in this together. We are in this together as a nation. We're in this together as a nation. When I was over at Georgetown, one of the classes I really enjoyed was decision making, how you make decisions. I think that's so important, that you really have a plan of how you make decisions, and you don't just make decisions based off of a whim, but you really do think about the decision, that you have the right information. And I spent a lot of time in computers. That's where my degrees are in for the most part, in computers and information systems. And I can tell you this, one of the things that we used to always say is garbage in, garbage out. If you had a decision, or you have information that's not credible, or information that's not factual, or you just don't have the right information, and you're trying to make a long-term or short-term decision, whether it's in business or anything else, and you using faulty data, then you're going to have a faulty decision. And so you just really need to look at the information, the data that you're using, to make sure that the decisions that you're making are based off of right data and so forth. But I just really wanted to take time to talk with you and expound on that particular question that I was asked earlier today, because I really do believe that even going forward, first of all, I'll tell you again, pray about what it is that you're doing. Is this even the right business for me to stay in? Because sometimes things happen to get that reset that needs to take place. And we may just need to focus or shift in a different direction. But one of the things that, any business, do you have the market to continue to support what it is that you're doing? Is it a niche area that you're working in? Are there, do you have a market that's big enough to sustain what you're doing today and where you want to go? Because again, that word reset, because it may be that you need to now focus or shift and go into a different direction. Doesn't mean that you give up, but you just may have to shift, reset, shift, do whatever is necessary to continue to go forward. And so I just really wanted to just take a few minutes to encourage you. And this is Dr. Mary Gillam. And if you want to know more about me, please check out my website at drmarygillam.com. Very, very easy, drmarygillam.com. I also host my own television show, which is Leadership Table Talk. And that particular show is designed to help to grow and develop leaders. And so I just say that over all of you guys. You're born to lead. You're born to win. Okay, take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for today.